Hi everybody. Today I'm going to lead you through the steps of animating an object, just a simple tutorial on how to use the timeline and how to animate. Okay, we're in Maya 2015. I've created a cube here, and we'll draw our attention down to the bottom where we have our timeline. And when you open up Maya, it will default on 24 frames, so that's really 1 second of animation. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some time to that. So why don't I select in this area here where I see 24, let's go with 300 frames and press enter. Now you can see the timeline extends all the way to 300 frames. Okay, over here, if I slide this around, this is my time slider. It's kind of shaded in a little bit darker gray, and I'm going to be sure that that's on 1. And I want to make sure that this animation is playing in real time. That's for 24 frames per second. So we can come over to the right here. Down at the bottom, you'll see this kind of running man icon. And that's our animation preferences. If I click on that, I'm going to be sure that the playback speed is on real time, 24 frames per second. I'll close that out. Okay, we're ready to animate. So I have my cube. It's selected. That's important. It's in object mode. I'm going to press S. And when I press S, you can see that something appears down on the timeline, a red keyframe. Okay, see, it's very thin, but it's in red, and that is our first keyframe. That's telling this cube to be at frame 1 in that position. Now I'll come over to frame 100. I'll slide my time slider over to 100. And why don't we take our move tool and move our cube over to the right. I'm on frame 100. I'm going to press S. That sets another keyframe. So now keyframe on frame 1 is telling the cube to be in this position, and the keyframe on frame 100 is telling the cube to be over there. And if I scrub or play these frames, you can see that animation is happening. Okay, let's look on now. Let's go to frame 50, and this time maybe we'll move our cube up in the air, but we'll try some things. How about we take our scale tool and scale it down? Well, I'm on frame 150. I've moved the cube up. I've scaled it down. I'm now going to press S. That'll set a keyframe, and we can see what happens. Now, it seems that Maya 2015 has a little bit of a glitch. I can't really see my keyframe. It's not in red, but I do see a thin gray keyframe, so we'll just continue. Let's go to 200 now, and maybe this time I'm going to take my move tool and I'm going to move it over maybe in a little bit closer. And how about we rotate it a few times and scale it larger? So that's using move, rotate, and scale, and we'll press another keyframe, which is S, and now we can play that and we can see what happens. I'm going to press play. Let's go from 0 to 100. Now it's going to 150, and there we go to 200, and we have that. Great. I'm going to pause that animation, and how about we finish up? Well, how about this? How about we have the last frame be where the cube started? So I'll show you how to copy and paste an existing keyframe. So if I want this cube to end in the exact place that it started, I would come over to the last frame of my timeline, 300. Actually, before I do that, let's get to the first keyframe, and if I right click it, I can see copy. And then I'm going to come over to 300, and I'm going to right click on frame 300 and say paste. And you can see it's laid down that keyframe from 0, or frame 1, and has put the cube back to where it is, where it started. So I'm going to press play and just see that through. And it's going to animate right back to where it started. Great. I'll pause that animation. Give it a try. Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.